Hello and welcome to the 2023 Blue Planet Berlin Water Dialogues Conference. My name is Jennifer Porto and joining me today is Timon Meyer. Timon, it's great to have you here.
Good to be with you. Welcome to our viewers here in Berlin and all around the world. We're joined by participants from over 60 countries, so you are part of a truly global event. And whether it is midday, like here in Europe, or early in the morning, or even late at night for you, I'm confident our speakers are ready to provide you with a virtual caffeine kick. And before we have our partners commence their introductions, Jennifer, what do you think, in a few words, what can we expect from today's conference?
Well, Timon, we can expect quite a lot. As you know, this year's theme is Closing the Loop, Circular Water Economy. And today, we're bringing together international experts in the field of innovative water management from research, business, and from politics. Alongside live keynote speeches, panel discussions, and project pitches, today's event offers you all the chance to engage in dialogue, share your knowledge, and network with entrepreneurs and scientists in one-on-one meetings and breakout sessions. Now, we're going to walk through how to use our platform a little bit later on, but we have a really exciting program, so let's get right to it. We're going to start off today from this beautiful studio here at the Ecologic Institute in Berlin with welcome remarks. Joining us are Boris Greifeneder, the General Manager of the German Water Partnership, and Martin Jekel, Managing Director of the Berlin Centre of Competence for Water. Gentlemen, the stage is yours.
I'm delighted to welcome you to the Blue Planet Berlin Water Dialogues today. Securing quality water services in a future of climate, economic, and population uncertainties demands a radical transformation of our water sector. Water knows no borders, and neither should our efforts to safeguard it. This is why we, as German Water Partnership, are proud to be part of the organizing team with this event. This year, partnering up again with KWB, Eclarion, and T-Base. We are here today to discuss how we can achieve the transformation of our water sector with circular water economy playing a pivotal role. We will explore global challenges while also showcasing German and international expertise and solutions that point the way towards a sustainable future in the water sector. I'm impressed by the commitment and innovation demonstrated by our partners and experts in this field. Their contribution will undoubtedly enrich our discussions today. I'm proud to say that again, more than 700 participants have registered to take part in today's event. Going digital, the Blue Planet Berlin Water Dialogues have become a global event with an outreach that goes way beyond the borders of Europe, connecting the water and wastewater management community worldwide. I would like to thank the Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation, Nuclear Safety and Consumer Protection, as well as the Berlin Senate for financially supporting this event and making it possible for the worldwide water community to meet online today and discuss the latest trends in circular water economy development. I warmly invite you to actively participate in this important conversation. Thanks to all the speakers and participants for joining us today. I look forward to an insightful and inspiring event. And with this, I would like to hand over to Martin Jekel.
Dear participants of the Blue Planet Water Dialogue here in Berlin, I'm happy to welcome you in my function as Managing Director of the Berlin Competence Center on Water. In German, it's KWB, and it's one of the organizers of the conference. It was created about 25 years ago. I was involved as a founder in the times of negotiations with the shareholders. I'm also pleased to be now the managing director for a certain time. KWB is a non-profit research organization. It is directed to work between the fundamental research and the applied tasks, applied research in the water cycle, especially in urban areas. We are actively involved in many projects, international and national projects, and we feel that we are a bridge between fundamental researchers and the practical tasks of water management. The general topic of this conference is closing the loop, circular water economy. It is just the right time to tackle this approach, as we have experienced a number of dry years, 5 years about, with a lot of negative impacts on water issues. We look especially on the Eastern German region, where we see a reduction in water flows of our surface waters. We see a decline in the groundwater levels and in even lake levels nearby. The projections are, however, that we have a rising water demand. The latest data show about additional demand of about 50 million cubic meter per year in the next 15 to 20 years, mainly due to population growth and economic activities. We are now aware that the one-way system, as we approach typically in a city, is not meeting the future demand for the whole water cycle, namely in the Eastern German region. But we have to tackle this problem. Thus, we think about additional measures to fight the water demand, the increasing demand. And this is not only here, but in a lot of regions in Europe. We have a lot of present ideas. Some of them are really very costly. They will take a lot of time. Thus, we are interested in, namely, in closing the water cycles in the city or in the region. And not only the water cycle, but also the cycling of valuable substances that we find in the water. This will be a topic for our activities in the next decades. And we want to avoid the traditional approach of a one-way system where we use the water and discharge it to the river. Well, thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a successful conference.
Many, many thanks to Boris Greifeneder and Martin Jekel for joining us here in the studio at the Ecologic Institute in Berlin. And now, thanks to the generous support of the Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation, Nuclear Safety, and Consumer Protection, as well as the Berlin Senate, we're able to go live to Dr. Severin Fischer, the State Secretary of the Berlin Senate Department for Economic Affairs, Energy, and Public Enterprises, for his welcoming remarks. Secretary Fischer, the floor is yours.
Yeah, dear Martin Jekel, dear Boris Greifeneder, and dear distinguished speakers and moderators, dear participants, it's a great pleasure to have you digitally here in Berlin, and greetings from around the neighborhood to the Ecologic Institute. We are very happy to support the Blue Planet event, Closing the Loop, Circular Water Economy in 2023. I'm truly delighted to note the presence of so many esteemed professionals from across the globe. It is really a pleasure to have you here. Your presence also reflects a strong global commitment to one of the most pressing challenges of our time, that is water and its sustainable management. Our world is increasingly under stress. Growing population and the harsh realities of climate change are putting unsustainable pressures on our resources, including the very basis of our existence, and that is water. As we navigate through these complex challenges, the necessity for a paradigm shift becomes abundantly clear. This is where the concept of circular economy comes into play. It takes a holistic approach, bringing together water, energy, waste management under a unified banner. It offers a resilient and regenerative framework, as well as actionable solutions. And by transitioning from our predominantly linear traditional economic model of take, make, use to a more comprehensive framework that incorporates also avoidance and reduction, reuse and recycling, recovery and restoration, we can alleviate the strains on resources, including energy, materials, food, and most notably, water. And why is this important? For one, because water is not just a renewable resource, it is a crucial component in the circular economy, as it carries materials and energy, the use of which benefits both the environment and society. And to achieve this, We must break down silos in our thinking and our approaches and foster collaboration among all stakeholders, and this is a perfect example today. For another, we must be acutely aware of the uneven distribution of water resources, coupled with a growing water scarcity driven by urbanization and climate change. And as Professor Jekel just said, this is also a situation we face here in the metropolitan region, Berlin and Brandenburg. But addressing the disparities and global challenges, this is of paramount importance, and viable solutions, I think, are indeed within our grasp. These solutions we have to find, they have to be local, they have to be adapted to the prevailing conditions. And this way we can generate value and enhance long-term resilience, which is again critical for societal growth and well-being and environmental restoration. Well, and Berlin is not just hosting this event. Our city, I think, has a long tradition to be a leader in sustainable water management, uniquely positioning itself as a hub for innovation, a very welcome place for scientific and entrepreneurial expertise, and of course for growth and employment. And just to briefly give you two examples why especially water management is for our city so important. First is our drinking water. In Berlin, drinking water is extracted from the groundwater resources within the city's territory by the Berlin Water Supply, which is Germany's largest water supply and wastewater drainage company. The primary portion of the extracted groundwater consists of bank filtrate, which is created near bodies of water through the filtration of surface water. During the treatment of the raw water in the waterworks, iron and manganese are removed through aeration and filtration. No chemical additives are in this process, and this is a very special situation, and we will do everything to preserve this water quality. And so we have a personal interest in preserving the situation. And second, and this is the more innovative topic, is our newly founded rainwater agency. I think as climate change intensifies, especially in cities, Berlin is experiencing also more and more hot days, prolonged droughts, and more frequent and intense heavy rainfall. And we need to put special attention to that. So what we did is creating a joint venture between the Senate of Berlin on the one side and the Berlin water companies and the rainwater agency on the other side. And that was found 5 years ago. It presents a pioneering initiative in decentralizing rainwater management, and it is unique also in its kind in Germany. This agency is committed to improving the urban climate, minimizing flooding, and promoting healthier green areas, ultimately aiming to make Berlin a sponge city that is resilient and adaptive to climate challenges. Well, having said that, I hope that this is just an example for many things you will discuss in the coming days. We as the Berlin Senate, and especially as the Senate Department for Economic Affairs, are very happy to support you in your conference. I think innovation and societal entrepreneurship is very important for the coming years in the topics of water management and the question how we deal with water. I wish you all an enlightening, successful, insightful conference. It's very good to see that joining hands in creating a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient world is happening here. And thanks to the organizers and the speakers for their very valuable contributions. Thank you for the attention, and wish you all the best for having a good conference.
Thank you so much, Secretary Fischer, for being one of those joining hands today. And as he said, ladies and gentlemen, there is lots to discuss in the coming days, not just today. As a reminder, our platform is going to be open through November 22. So you have 2 weeks to continue the dialogue, to continue closing that loop together after today's events are over.